Well, yubba dubba doo, Wilma. Greetings and aloha. What's going on? It's Mike's from LiveMyAssOff.com, along with my very, very, very good friend
Robbie from Walking My Shoes, Thailand. There you go. Good evening, California.
Yes.
Good morning, Bangkok.
Aloha. What's happening? Yes, 8 a.m. in the Big Mango, and Pismo Beach checks in at 5 p.m. Friday. How was your week, dude?
Dude, it's awesome. I love it. Had a pretty darn good week.
Okay.
Just kind of keeping my stuff together and finished packing up some stuff, and I'll be moving into my new place, temporary place, of course.
Okay.
Which will be my 2-month rentals, I should call it. So when I come back here every 2 months, I'll have a place.
Okay. Oh, dude, that's right. Yeah, we should probably talk about that because, again, we've talked before about how people sort of come over here and they think, oh, yeah, when he moved over, he basically just dropped everything on a Friday, and then he got there on a Saturday. And the transition for me was a little bit of vacation, come over there for a few months, that sort of thing. But I would argue that the transition for you is probably a little bit more common for guys that come over here permanently, which is, well, I got my act together, and then I had to keep this in storage, and then I had to close down this business.
And I'm wanting to make money. I mean,
yeah.
So I've been asked that question this past week after the last live stream about how do I make money? And they didn't understand me going back and forth.
And you're like, I bought a color printer at Office Depot, and then I just make fucking Thai bot one after. Yeah, I get it. It's smart.
I've had to recently kind of confess, guys, and here it is. I've never considered myself a digital nomad until recently. It is what I do. Okay. I'm what they call a digital nomad. I build websites. Let's just face it. I build websites. I do marketing for small businesses, and I do social media content for them. Mm-hmm. So essentially, I'm a content creator. That's what I do, and therefore, I need to go back and forth from the United States to Thailand for right now because I have about, almost 200 clients I got to manage.
Oh, okay.
And it gets... Yeah, about 200 clients, which means websites or social and websites. And so that forces me to go back and forth. Thailand is what I like to say, my home. And I'm just here for a visit to my company and some people. So there you go. There it is.
Nice, dude. No, that's totally awesome. That's very cool.
And I encourage people, if you can do it, do it. If you can make it work as a digital nomad, it can be done. I mean, I'm not going to sell you a book or anything like that.
Yeah, you have an ebook? You got a PDF I can download for free?
Yeah, you guys want to buy my ebook? Here we go.
Actually,
you know what?
I'll tell you
we should have a cover for my ebook. I can put this and it might sell.
Oh, dude, that would be great. Because, for only $17.77, you can basically buy my dropshipping class. But the good news is there's a totally private Facebook group, and you can talk with your success with a whole bunch of people. Dude. Absolutely, whole bunch of people. Dave, thank you for stopping by. I want to say hello to a bunch of people. Christy, obviously, great to see you. Kitty, you're amazing. My Mojo, yo, what up, Florida? Great to see you as well. And Robert Mack. Yep, saw Dave down there. He's come by. Tommy J. That's a new one. I don't know that one. That's pretty cool. Prep for it. Good to see you. Prep for it. Right on, man. That's totally cool. I don't know where I first saw you. I think probably over on Jeremy's channel. So it's good. I appreciate you coming by over to probably Ryan's channel. If you guys don't know, we're live on EAT-OUT-PATTAYA. Jokingly, obviously, I like to say EATing-OUT-PATTAYA with Ryan's little flavor saver. But we're going to be bringing him on in a little bit and get to hear directly from Pattaya and what's going on down there, and then obviously talk to Ryan a little bit about his channel, EAT-OUT-PATTAYA, which of course is a lot of food and that sort of thing.
We get to talk food. Who here doesn't like food, man? I mean, isn't that one of the reasons why we live here in Thailand? The food.
I mean, define food, but I get it. Yeah, okay, fair enough. That's pretty good. We got a lot of people in the chat. This is awesome, man. Thanks a lot for coming by.
Out. Oops, did you already erase that? You did.
No, go ahead. You're in control. I'll put my fingers in the air. Mr. Jellyfinger over here. I won't do anything, I promise.
Good morning, Robbie. In the same boat. So in the same boat.
Australia back. And speaking of Australia, actually, this is my really, 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 really good buddy, a buddy who's a friend of a lot of channels, but Chris over there down in Australia, and he's coming soon, dude. I cannot wait to see you. He's like a fucking brother. It's, and then in fact, I apologize because Gracie has called me out on using the F-bomb, so I'm going to try and not do that today. But anyway, yeah, thanks a lot. Good to see you down in Australia. I'm glad you guys came by. That's like totally awesome.
The Aussie Posse. We have a pretty good clan going on down there. So
I could sell you the course, Joe, for $17.77.
I can sell you the shirt. Let me sell you the shirt.
Oh my
Aussie
God!
Posse.
What if we only had a shirt? Should we make an Aussie Posse version?
I think I need to make one because I have a bunch of friends from Australia.
Absolutely, up top. Oh my God, that's great.
Has nothing to do with the spot, other than whatever you guys do buy, it does go towards our studio.
Wow.
So if you guys are looking for an awesome shirt, this is Robert Mack right here. Let's do the pitch real quick.
Robert Mack Media just looking. And I got to tell you, Bernadette, thank you for coming by. I know you and your nephew there, you guys are like big promoters of the station as well as the T-shirt. Thank you guys for the purchase. Definitely coming to you very, very soon. I know Robbie's there, and he's getting a whole package together. We're not just going to ship you a shirt. There's going to be an experience when you get this product, so it's going to be really good. But you're absolutely not late. Thank you so much. And for anyone who's not live now but watching on the replay, thank you so much. Indeed, Soy Mafia, good to see you. I'm eating in the studio. As you can see, I got my high-class soundproofing behind me, along with my low-class soundproofing that a lot of people will refer to as a mattress. So, So we're not waking up the neighbors that early.
I love this typo right here. Thanks, man. Thanks, Dave.
Ribby. I mean, well, you know what? So here's what's funny.
Only on the weekends,
people are going to think... Yeah, people are going to think that I'm like totally, making fun of the Asians, right? So anyway, I don't know about you, but you order stuff on Lazada, the guy calls on his way, right?
Yeah.
And so usually what happens in our condo where we live is there's a lobby, right? And in the lobby, there's a mail person, and they take the mail and they keep your packages and everything. Yep. Anyway, so this guy calls. And I'm thinking about you and me. I'm thinking about the studio. I'm thinking about like broadcasting. I'm thinking about I'm thinking about the spot. And of course, so we are in my mind. The guy calls me. He's like, have package? I'm like, yeah. He goes, lobby. And so I immediately I said, no, Robbie's not here. Robbie's not here. He's going to be coming back.
Here. Man, come on.
Ribby's not here. And he goes, no, lobby, G building. And I'm like, oh my God, did I seriously just like, no, Robbie's not here. But meet me in the Robbie.
Then I have another confession. So
you're not wearing pants?
And I did it on one of my videos recently with Kitty as I had her say vacuum. So it's hilarious to hear her say vacuum. I don't know.
Well, they're not good with V's. So how does she say it? Vacuum?
I couldn't even tell you how she said it, but it's pretty funny. So I do give her a little bit of grief on that. Not too much. It's funny. She laughs at me and...
I remember I used to
English,
give.
So
she totally is. Well, and her and Gracie. I mean, that's what's cool, right? They're hanging out and
every day.
Yeah, every day. It's neat. It's good to see. I remember the thing I used to give. I mean, God, how long ago was this now? Like basically almost 10 years. The girlfriend I had at the time was Thai, and she would obviously mimic the poor language that I would use. So sometimes she would come up to me frustrated. She'd go, "G cry my." I'm like, you mean Jesus Christ? And she's like, G cry. I'm like, totally. Yeah. Why don't you go use a vacuum? So,
dude, Roger's on. We got Roger on.
He's so cool. I can never remember where he is. He's up in. He says it each time, and I forget.
Yeah, and he really doesn't want to be there. He wants to move towards.
He wants to go to PKK. Yeah, I don't blame him.
Yeah. Can you say what that is, just so?
Oh, sorry. Prot Shop Currycon. Basically, where Foreigner Joe and some other guys are down there. Thanks for coming by, honey. Always good to see you, especially when I get to roll over and be like, "Hey, pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. Pay attention to me. I'm your husband."
Well, here's Roger. Here's where he is. Panom. I can never say it right. You say it. You say it much better than I do.
Patom. You know what's funny about that is for some reason, like, so when I was in grade school, you had the option of taking either French or Spanish, and all my relatives are Canadian and everything, and so naturally people, oh my God, you should take French. And I didn't like French for some reason. I didn't know why, but I'm living in Boston, and I'm like, I don't like French, so I took Spanish. Very few people took it, but I got into it. It was really cool. Well, then I moved to San Diego. And I started like speaking Spanish occasionally. And what was interesting is people would say exactly what you just said. They're like, you can pronounce this stuff like really, really well. And I don't know why that is. Maybe I just mimic people better. And so
maybe this is just what you do for a living. I mean, come on, guys. He can't.
I suppose
he can't BS any of us. You've been doing it since you're 12. We all know it, man.
Seriously, I didn't even think about that. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah.
Yeah, you've been doing it your whole life. Hey, check this out. Is this a spam? I mean, can you anybody tell us what this is? This is great. We got spam.
Salted extra. Oh my God. Is it sweet or salty? Is it more of a velvety cream sauce than anything else?
Do you get two or is it just one?
Viewers, followers, chatbots. The price is lower than any competitor. Well, so here's the interesting thing about that salty extra velvety cream sauce is that our competitors, as it turns out, they charge us $0 per month. And so therefore, if you're cheaper than that, that means you will pay us. So here's what I need you to do. First of all, I need you to take this comment. I need you to roll it up real tight. And then I need you to email me at mikes@thespot.fm. And basically give me what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you my Bitcoin wallet.
I don't think it's a real person, man. Come on.
Really? Really? You don't think salted extra? I mean, just look at their picture. Obviously, they're a big fan of Prince because they like purple. I mean, I have complete faith in that. I would seriously, turn it off, customize it. All you got to do is go to dogehype.com.
Go to Doge Pipe? Is that what you said?
No, skin flute is actually what I said. No, Doge hype. I mean, here's what I love about that comment is it's so ridiculous because they have a website that says Doge hype. And I'm like, are you really? And so anyway, more power to them. I'll tell you, I love getting the bot. I don't like trolls, and you know how I deal with trolls.
That's what I was wondering. Is that a troll? I mean, should we have troll pictures pretty soon?
I don't know. I mean, we should probably have troll pictures. I actually am envisioning a picture of salted extra, which I could probably download from YouPorn right now. And it would be very entertaining, but of course, we're exactly. Yeah. You see, I think that's what Salted Extra is saying to themselves right now because of the amount of grief that I'm about to give them.
Yeah.
But anyway, I guess we're getting popular, man. I guess we're getting popular. Joe just double-clicked on a chest bump of 5 laughs, so thank you very much.
Nice.
Oh my God, dude! Seriously, we got the big guy here. Mitch, I miss you, man. I hope you're well. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it, dude. Really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Getting all the hellos and good mornings. So we got, we do have Ryan on today.
Indeed. Yeah, Ryan from EATing-OUT-PATTAYA. Remind me, because, you basically introduced me to him. How did you end up meeting him?
So I met Ryan. Actually, I met Ryan at the Wombat, and we're sitting there just rapping out. And I believe at that time I was with Kitty, and we're just hanging out. And part of going to the Wombat for me in the beginning was networking. I mean, I don't know anybody here. Okay. And the Wombat I've liked. I've enjoyed going to the Wombat to meet other YouTubers because I know the community is a tight niche and you kind of want to interact with other community players. And myself as a content creator, I wanted to meet, a couple of the guys, and I met Ryan there. And we're just kind of hanging out, and it wasn't even a meetup. Not yet anyways.
You just eating some lunch or something?
Just eating some lunch, just hanging out, and then we connected. I think we're like-minded in so many different things, and I know he likes to laugh, and we're gonna have him on here in about 2 minutes, and we're gonna check him out. And you know what? I really like his show. I told him, hey man, you need to be on my show because his 3-minute videos of EATing-OUT-PATTAYA, which I think is great, by the way. I mean, I love it. I love going to his show and going, hey, where should I go to eat? I can just click on that and get 2-minute review, and there you go. So I think it's very valuable.
Indeed. Mitch, I'll answer your question. I would love if you would go over to the SPOT Thailand. That would really help us out, mainly because, as you know, the infamous magic number of subscribers, right, is 1,000. We're at 989, and I believe we actually kicked it up to 990 just a few minutes ago. So, yeah, Mitch, if you don't mind, youtube.com/@thespot Thailand. That would really be really be awesome, and I would appreciate it. But more than anything else, I appreciate you coming by. Big time, big time, big time, big time. Wait, what's this? You had to delete your message just because it was the first time I've ever seen you're not a moderator. Yeah, absolutely. Only the cool kids are moderators. Auntie Dana. So if it's Auntie Dana, does that basically mean it's Jib? Is that what it is?
Jib.
Dana is my brother from definitely another mother, but yeah, we had such a good time doing Bangkok Strange, dude. I miss you like a lot. He and I we catch up with each other in like 10 to 15 second blocks via chat, via line, about every 2 to 3 months. And to that point, I'm naturally curious, is that happening for you now that you're back in PISMO for the couple of months to sort of, solidify your business and make it run without you there? Are you having a bunch of guys like catch up with you and you just kind of reconnect, or no?
Yeah, I reconnect. However, because I've done this so many times now, the reconnection is like normal. It isn't like, oh, I got to meet up with you. It's kind of like, oh, you're back. You want to hang out? And it's just like any other time. But it's less, the excitement isn't as much for them anymore because they're like, oh my gosh, how was Thailand? It isn't like that. Now I get, hey, did you see any ladyboys? And it's freaking hilarious.
You get that almost every single time.
I get that every single time.
That's the
and
big famous
speaking
one.
of ladyboys and
speaking of ladyboys, when's the last time you ate out Pattaya? Oh my God, Ryan from Eat Out Pattaya, how you doing, man?
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm glad everybody got to see me. Now I'm going back to bed. So y'all,
man, it's not even that early for you guys.
I get it. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'm out, dude. Later. So first of all, Robbie, you're mentioning Ryan's live stream. Tell me what that is. I don't particularly know exactly what you're talking about when you say that.
What his live stream is? No, I don't know much about his live stream. I mean, we weren't talking about that. I was talking about his normal videos, his 3-minute food commercials or whatever they are. And
it
Ryan,
looks like
are those
commercials? It really does.
Are they commercial? Well, I was telling everybody that I enjoy watching them because it kind of gives me, as an expat or even as a holiday visitor, where to go eat. I never get lost. I just go to your channel and boom. Is that why you do it? Tell us why you do it.
I'm going to call him out, actually. I know that a lot of people in the audience probably familiar with Chocolate Man. I mean, he's a pretty well-known YouTuber in the area. We're sitting in, Mitch and I were sitting in a restaurant with Jam Life in Thailand the other day, and all of a sudden, Meow starts yelling across the street because she saw Fa and, of course, James. They were getting ready to go into a little restaurant, a little cafe across the street that sells the cookies that I did a little video on. And it's, so James come over, we start talking everything, and he goes, hey, man, he says, in fact, this restaurant that y'all are in right now, he says, the video's going to pop tonight. And I got it from you. He says, all I have to do now is sit back and just go, man, where's Ryan going to go eat next?
Exactly.
I'm just going to follow where Ryan's going. And I was like, at least you said it.
Right.
And I look at it like this. That's the most sincerest form of flattery I can get right there. When someone says, hey, I saw where you went. And because, the way Chocolate Man does his videos is way different than mine. I mean, he's a very natural. He's a pro. Like I probably, when I talked to him once and I watched him, just do his vlogging, like watching him raw and in person do vlogging. It's the same person you see just talking, just regular BSing with to vlogging. And he's so natural at it now. And I even told him, I said, I'm not up to that yet where I can just stand in the middle of a mall and take my phone out and go and and he just speaks into it like another person, and I'm going, I'm not quite there yet. You could tell that one, he's like you, Robbie, or not Robbie, but Mike, you've got a background in radio.
Yeah, sure.
And there's a distinct difference between the rest of us and you when it comes to this.
The other people.
I'm being serious. It's like, crap, I got to go on the morning show. Usually I can be the kind of entertaining, quirky, funny guy, but I got Mike over there that talks a million miles per hour because we're two different people. Like, It's like, you know, that age-old adage, those who laugh last think slowest. Well, that's definitely me, because I'm nice and slow and monotone and just giving you little jabs here and there.
Okay.
And I say one thing, and 5 minutes later, you're on like 50 different topics. And I'm like, shit, I thought we were talking about
He's pretty fast,
this.
man.
Yeah.
Love caffeine.
So let me ask you, Ryan, are you doing 2 of these shows per week or just once a week now? Or what is your plan?
I really don't have, for the regular vlog videos, I really don't have a plan. I'm trying to, like everybody else, trying to figure out that almighty algorithm. I'm looking at when people are actually watching my videos and trying to time them to drop a video when it says, you know, the millions and millions of people that subscribe to my channel are actually looking. And I think my algorithm, or, you know, everything got thrown off a little bit because I did a live show this past week, and of course it spiked my numbers up, and I'm going, oh crap, now I'm back to square one figuring out when to drop these videos. But I've always kind of tried to drop them around Tuesday or Friday in that
Tuesday,
area.
Friday, okay.
Once a week.
Twice a week if I can help it, and sometimes even 3 times a week if I'm really getting out there.
Yeah, that's a lot of eating out Pattaya.
You know, we do eat 3 times a day. I don't always vlog the food. Sometimes I just want to go to a restaurant and talk to friends and relax.
Absolutely.
So what I've noticed was, like, yesterday was the first. I actually, on my own with nobody else, I went down and hit up. It was back to back. That's why I ate smaller portions at both places. I actually hit up Taco, and then right after went over to 3B's Burrito. And
we had 2 Mexican meals in one day.
Yeah, but no beans. So, you know, luckily, no beans, or I wouldn't be on the show right now, or the show would be coming from.
We don't have smell-o-vision, dude. You don't need to worry about that.
Well, you know, that's why I've got the green screen or the virtual background up, because I'm actually sitting on the can. So,
don't worry about that.
Well, you know, that's
good man.
But. So, yeah, so it's a little bit different. And like everybody else, I'm trying new things to figure out what people like. But from what I'm getting from everybody, and Robbie just said it, and I mean, go down the line, all the other YouTubers are telling me the same things. They're like, Ryan, you know, we don't watch other YouTubers. I mean, it's been talked about. I'm sure you guys are in the same spot. Pardon the pun.
Hey.
How much YouTubers in Pattaya do you really watch, or in Thailand altogether? It's very minimum now that you live here.
Right. Yeah, if you live over here.
And everybody says the same thing. Right. But what I'm getting is a lot of the YouTubers here coming up going, I don't watch YouTubers in Thailand, but I watch your videos. Because you keep them under 3.5 minutes.
Yeah, you make them short.
And I'm doing that on purpose, because what's our attention span now? I mean, we can't even get people to watch a whole 1-minute clip of a YouTube short.
Yeah,
you know?
true.
So it's like I'm 3 times the length of that, you know. But I'm not sitting. I mean, yesterday's one was a little pushing it. I got to 4.5 minutes. But every one of my videos you should see should be under 5 minutes. And the magic number for me is around 3.5 to 4.
Yeah, I like the 3-minute ones.
Now, with that, I'm shooting myself in the foot, because at that rate, I'll never monetize. I'll never monetize. So, you know, I'm just not getting the watch time. But it's not there for that.
That's not really your goal, right? I mean, you want to here's an example of yesterday's video, right? So Taco, can you give us an idea about where that is? Like, how do I find that if I don't know?
It's right off of Central. I've got the actual map up.
And then 3B's Burrito. And I'm going to let y'all know.
Oh, and then there's 3BZ, right? That was the other one you went out to?
I don't know how it is afterwards.
All right, roll it. Let's do it.
Okay, hold on. Here we go.
You actually have to plug the cord into the computer to get it.
All right, welcome back to the channel, everyone.
Let's see what we got here.
Sorry, guys.
This is crazy, actually, because I have fiber. I just got fiber installed. It's not working.
I had fiber yesterday.
I bet you did. Blow your colon wide open, didn't it? You little bastard.
Better out than in.
There you go. That's smart.
Yeah. All right, so switching some things up today. Different little format here. Because I've heard so many people ask the question, where is the best place in Pattaya to get Mexican food? I decided to go to.
Do it a little slower.
Yeah, a little bit echo.
Two restaurants today. So we're going to go down, and we're first going to try Taco, and then 3B's burrito. And I'm going to let y'all know how it is afterwards.
Oh, there's the map.
On our first stop today.
Ah, okay. So basically, Central Road is Taco.
Yeah, it's pretty close to Central Road, and it's near Sorbacao and Third Road. It's in between, and I even said it's kind of hard to find. That's why. Taco's kind of hard to find if you're not familiar with the area. So we'll have a link in the description for you.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's a huge echo.
Cool.
Come on inside and check out the food.
Really? Okay, bummer. Well, definitely check out your channel, dude. That's like totally cool. I want to talk a little bit more about that for sure. And you're doing it what, twice a week? You said.
Two at minimum. I try to throw a short in there if I can. Because there's a lot of so some of these restaurants, and y'all know this as well from eating around here. Some of them have a very robust menu. It's like they'll have Mexican food, they'll have Thai food, they'll have this, and it's like a lot of it's good. So you go into a restaurant, you're like, oh, I'm gonna try the sandwich or whatever, and someone's hitting you back going, prime example, Tig-O Bitties. First time I went into Tig-O Bitties.
Just like the name.
Yeah,
it's a cool place.
So first time I went into Tig-O Bitties, I think it was like a Tuesday, so everybody had tacos. I want to say I got a chicken. I forget what I even ate there. And I was looking at the menu, and it looked like they had a good breakfast menu. And as a lot of y'all can hear from my voice, I'm from the South. I'm right outside of New Orleans. So
does that mean you like grits?
Oh, I love grits. I've got grits. I found grits. I've got grits on my counter right now. I got the good old grits.
Dude.
So,
really?
Say ketchup?
Okay.
With A1, right? Grits with A1 and ketchup? Isn't that how you have it?
No.
Somebody's from the north.
Yeah.
Someone
just stop his stream. So we were friends.
Nice work.
So I was looking at it. I was like, God damn, they got biscuits and gravy.
Oh.
And for my English friends, I don't mean a cookie. I mean like bread, like a good biscuit, like a Southern style biscuit. And they had gravy. So I went down there to go try that. And I was like, man, I've already shot this restaurant, but let me do a short with it. And boy, the short, I was getting people hitting me up. Now it didn't do like other shorts do that take off, but it got close to 1,000 views, which is good for me.
Nice.
And I had people hitting me up going, biscuits and gravy? Where'd you find that? I'm like, did you not read the title? It said Tig-O Bitties, biscuits and gravy.
Tig-O Bitties.
Ryan, we don't read. Come on, you know that.
Yeah, that's true. So, I'm more of a Braille guy. That's how I like to introduce myself to the lady boys. I'm like,
I'm reading
Braille right now.
I'm a nose guy.
Are you more of a nose guy? That's true. That's probably smart move. What's your favorite thing at Tig-O Bitties?
So far, that damn biscuits and gravy.
Biscuits and gravy?
Yeah.
I like to, for whatever reason, every time I go there, I get I think it's like cheeseburger, fries, and then apple pie a la mode. It's the only place I know of, actually, where you can get apple pie a la mode. I'm sure there's places, and maybe you can answer that. Any other place you've been that has apple pie with vanilla ice cream?
There's quite a few. You got Route 66, I believe, has an apple pie and an ice cream.
Good point.
They do.
Now the one for dessert is Peaky Blinders.
Really?
Robbie will
100% agree.
He doesn't have a dessert menu. It's whatever he makes that day. And I even told him, I said, man, I wish you put this out on your Facebook, something to let us know what the dessert of the day is. And then I had to recant that statement and said, please don't put it out, because if I see it, I'm coming down there and I'm going to be bigger than I already am. Like most people come, and I had this talk yesterday with the owner of 3Bs. I actually sat in there and talked to him, and I told him the same thing I tell everybody. Most people come to Thailand and lose weight. I have proved that wrong. I have made a liar out of everybody.
Yeah.
I have come
You haven't
to
missed a
Thailand
meal
and gained weight
in a while there.
easily. So
I don't think I've missed any meals too, man. We're going to go hang out together when I get back. Okay, Ryan?
we were supposed to do a weight loss thing for New Year's, and that never materialized.
Yeah, no, you found that. You didn't lose anything. You're like, oh, I know exactly where I put that. No, I'll keep that around.
That's exactly right. I'm looking forward to getting back to eating out Pattaya. I can't wait, honestly. I mean, yeah, you don't lose weight there. You can't go to Pattaya thinking, I'm going to lose weight. Forget it.
Well, most people do, because they don't eat all the fast food junk that they did in America, or they're starting to eat better meals. They're eating, they're just changed up their stuff. Me, you can put me on the moon, and I'm going to figure out a way of getting fried shrimp. You know, it comes down to Jeff down at the Cajun restaurant. When he first started his restaurant, it still is called Cajun Life Cafe, and it was said, you know, we make healthy taste good is his slogan.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I go in there and I'm thinking, all right, I got a little food from back home, and he had a lot of healthy options. I mean, a lot. That's all his menu was, and I stayed on Jeff. And just harped and harped. I said, man, where's my catfish? Where's my fried seafood plate on a Friday? Where's my this? Finally he come out with a shrimp po' boy and a shrimp plate and some other stuff. And I told him once I literally had it wasn't even on the menu. I had the first shrimp po' boy in the place.
So wait, so sorry. Shrimp po' boy, as in pull?
Pork?
P-O boy. Po' boy.
Po' boy. Like poor, but you're just saying it with an accent?
No, that's how it's spelled. P-O boy.
What does it mean?
It's a sandwich. It's a New Orleans for sandwich. You can put,
but
we call them, on Fridays you get, a seafood po' boy or
po' boy.
It's just, out of New Orleans. That's Louisiana. It is
That's
spread out a little bit.
Kind of like grinder is like a
it would be a
Subway
hoagie
sandwich.
or a grinder.
Okay, got it.
But,
po' boy, okay.
Yeah, I could go into the whole history of it, but I'll save time for the show here. It's only an hour and a half show. But.
Dude, we got another 60 minutes. Go.
Oh, Jesus. It's just like how pizza was started. If you know how pizza was started, it was the leftover bread and the leftover meats, and you did it on a Friday. Same thing with the po' boy, and that's the reason why they got it. The original one was, believe it or not, they would take the bread and fries and gravy and give it out to people, and it only cost, and they still have them to this day. You can go in a lot of the restaurants down there in New Orleans and get a French fry and gravy po' boy. But it was a very cheap sandwich, and that's what all the people, and it came out of the Depression era, from what I understand. And it's just, you go to New Orleans, and that's what they're known for. Mark Weens went to New Orleans and did like 6-7 videos on New Orleans alone. One of his videos was just going around trying all the po' boys alone.
Po' boys.
That was it. He just went place to place.
I think we actually called them poor boys, like poor boy sandwich.
Now,
when I think, okay, first of all, so you're from Louisiana?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Is it true that it's like the way that you sort of pronounce, like I say Boston, right? Like, do you guys say Nolans? Is that?
No, we don't say. Some people do when they're getting a little, like we had a personality back home. It was Frank Davis. He used to do the fishing and game report. It's naturally Nolans, but he just hit it home. Okay. But, we don't say, we say New Orleans, or some people. It's
Orleans.
Okay. It's just different. But I can tell you what, you go right outside New Orleans, you go down to St. Bernard, and they sound like the Jersey Shore. Because when the Jersey Shore got popular with all the big hair and the accents and everything, I said, Jesus Christ, I said, St. Bernard's sitting on a gold mine down there, and they just don't know it because they sound close to Boston and close to that Jersey Shore. Like, they don't say bowl, it's burl. Everything, we're having a shrimp burl. And
I got a barrel over here full of shrimp.
Yeah, but they don't sound country. They sound like they're from, it's the weirdest thing. You'd have to look it up. It's, that whole area around there have different accents. Just depends on what side of the city you go to. I'm on the North Shore away from the city, which is closer to Mississippi, so I'm getting more of a southern hillbilly accent.
Right.
Redneck. I don't get that Cajun accent like you've got Jeff from Cajun. He's got a Cajun last name. He's from that Atchafalaya and that Acadian area. He's got more of a Cajun accent. Like our accents are totally different.
And the Cajun accent is kind of like a French derivative?
Yes. Yeah, because they speak that French Cajun.
All right. Now, in my mind, when I hear New Orleans, again, not from there. I've actually been to New Orleans like 3 or 4 times right after Katrina. Jesus Christ, that was anyway.
That was a hellhole. Yeah.
It was bad. But when I think jambalaya. Or is that just like is that a very tourist thing, or do you guys actually?
No.
It's good. It's freaking excellent, dude.
I've actually made it here in
good
Thailand.
spice.
Now, does your Cajun restaurant guy? Does he make that?
He makes a pastelaya. He said he didn't want to have another one.
Rice
instead
dish,
of using he goes, why are we going to put another rice dish in Asia?
Another one. Yeah, nice.
So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So when you came, now let's talk a little bit about you. And, Robbie and I were in our 50s, and a lot of guys come over in 50, and they're in their sort of retirement mode and that sort of thing. You're much younger. You're in your 40s, right? Early 40s.
Yeah. What's the old Doc Holliday? I'm not retired. I'm in my prime. Just don't ask my girlfriend.
Wow. Well, maybe we do
Don't
ask
my
your
girlfriend. Don't ask
Look
my
at the
wife.
truth.
Two different people. But so why Thailand initially, and then why move over here now? And you can answer. I'm going to be right back, and you and Robbie can chat.
It's you know, why put off what you're going to do later? Today, I've said it a million times on other live streams. You can replace money, but you can't replace time. And I didn't want to come over here, you know, when I'm in my 60s, when I've run out of steam. I think a lot of people in the chat know. If they don't know, I'm a retired police officer. And if anybody's been in America lately, not exactly the most well-liked profession right now. We're getting a lot of shit. And I said, oh, the hell with this. I said, I've had enough of it. So I took out on an early retirement.
And when was that? When did you?
That was November 20. Let's see. I came over here the Tuesday before Thanksgiving in 2021.
Wow, that was your first time?
No, that's when I made the move.
Oh, okay.
My first time coming over here was back in like 2015 or 2016. I don't have the longevity, but I have a friend that lives here. He retired here, and we talk back and forth all the time. And of course, I said, you know, I'm going to come visit you one day. And he said, that's what everybody say. And
yeah,
I mean, as soon as I got off the phone with him, I went straight to the computer and booked a plane ticket to fly into Bangkok. Hit him back up after I booked the ticket, sent him a message saying, you know, don't call me a liar, you SOB. When I say I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it. And,
dude, I'm the same way, man.
And so I booked the ticket, went on into Thailand, and just like everybody else, you get here for a few. Now I stayed a couple days in Bangkok, and Jerry's still out. I'm not a big city person, but the second that I got into the swing of things down in Pattaya, that's when everything changed. I was like, oh dear Jesus.
So
I got to figure
out.
out.
What's that mean, get in the swing of things? I mean, come on, let's be honest here. What's that mean, getting in the swing of things?
Well, plus, if someone from the South says, oh dear Jesus, you know they're very committed to it. Because, I mean, that's where the Bible meets the friggin' belt, dude.
Exactly.
Pretty much.
Yeah. What does that mean, Ryan?
Oh dear Jesus?
No. What does it mean when you say, oh dear Jesus, related to Thailand? Sorry, Pattaya.
It's it was different. You know, this is a tourist town, and we're used to stuff like this. You know, if you've been to New Orleans, you've been down to Bourbon Street. Carrying around beer and the drinking culture down there is pretty much the drinking culture here. And they've got.
I've never been to New Orleans, so I can't even tell you.
Oh, it's a drinking culture. The difference is they try to get you drunk quick down there so they can take your money. Over here, they try to do it slowly and entice you with women. New Orleans, they just give you hurricanes and hand grenades.
Oh,
and say,
I loved hurricanes. Robbie, have you ever had a hurricane?
Now I don't even know what the hell you are talking about.
It is pure sugar, but I tell you, the alcohol in it, and you've got to realize, you know, a hand grenade from Tropical Isle, which is on Bourbon Street, they're putting Everclear in that son of a gun. So
I thought you guys were making a joke here. I mean,
no. If you ever get a hurricane, usually people that come in, you know, the holiday, you know, the people that let loose, because people go down to New Orleans and let loose. It's the city
Las
that care
Vegas
forgot.
Of the East.
It's the city that care forgot, and you know, people let loose when they're on holiday or vacation, as we would say. I'm back to dealing with Americans, so vacation, and they'll let loose, and so they get. I mean, I've been in the airport flying out before, and there's some guy that was there on business, and he is still drunk from the night before. He's like, "Man, I was out all night. We got done with the conference," and he's waiting in line, and he reeks of a brewery, and I'm just sitting there going, and we're sitting there just kick back laughing, going, "Been there, done that," you know, because everybody's been in that situation.
I used to drink tons of hurricanes, but remind me, because I used to drink Long Island iced teas, which is amazing. That's a bad idea in a glass, and I used to love those. 5 liquors in a Long Island iced tea. How many are in a hurricane? Because it's grenadine, which is the red, right? And then there's
you know, Patos has got their secret mix. I don't know what. I don't know. I've never been a real person. Oh, there we go. Thanks, Mitch. Man, you got the moderator of the stars on it.
Grenadine.
Moderator of the stars. I love it.
Yeah, no, Mitch is amazing. I made you a moderator on the spot, dude. I hope it because there's 2 types of moderators now. I made you the guy with
fruity and boozy,
large penis. So yeah, you're good.
passion fruit. I see, and I don't know what. Types of 2 different types of rum. Yeah, I think they put the clear in the other one. It's now I tell you, if you go to Paddo's, which is known for the Hurricane, probably the best drink that they've got there is the Pimm's Cup.
Oh, I've never had one of those. What's in that?
Oh God, you got. They do a good old fashioned as well. I know you had that. Pimm's Cup is what they did is one of the guys at the Napoleon House started this drink, and he put a lot more. I would say it's kind of like a mojito, but a little more fruitier. It's a summer drink. They put like they'll even put cucumber in it and stuff like that. And it's about half the alcohol of all the rest of the drinks out there. And the guy that started it did it because he was tired of people getting wasted in his bar too quick. So he wanted a nice,
because
he wanted a nice cocktail. Yeah, he wanted a nice cocktail to serve everybody, for the heat down there, a nice refreshing one, but didn't want everybody to get wasted. So, that's why they did the Pimm's Cup.
Those were, it's funny that you should say that, Mitch. You cannot drink sugar drinks anymore. Yeah, I can't drink it all anymore, but I can see that you're drinking any less. That's pretty good. Go ahead, Robbie. Sorry, you can ask a question.
Yeah, if I'm going to drink, I'm going to have bourbon, like Woodford or something like that. But I don't drink that often either. Kind of like Mike. Well, he doesn't drink at all, but yeah, not too often. So I got a question, Ryan. So, you chose Thailand 2021, or that's when you came over to make that big decision. Had you traveled to other countries before that, or what made you choose Thailand? Say, hey, this is it, man. I'm here. I'm staying.
Like you enjoy the lady boys, so.
I mean, no judgment, dude.
There is absolutely no judgment.
What if we only had a picture of one?
I don't know. I don't know who's enjoying the ladyboy more, but she's a lot of fun.
Once again, I wanted to clear my head after retirement. Again, been here many a times. I knew that, it was more cost effective to live here.
Right. Absolutely.
I'll tell you right now, I just pulled insurance for a year, and let me see if I can get it was $1,090 for the year for insurance, and that was inpatient, outpatient, which was about 34,000 baht or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. And that was for 1 year.
Right.
That was a year's worth of coverage. 500. That's like 2 or 3 months coverage back home.
Yeah, pretty much.
And
so
America.
You're in your 40s.
Yeah, I'm 41, so that's why my rate was a little cheaper than everybody else's listening. So.
Now, who did you go with? Because, that's obviously the next question, right? Like, oh, my God. Because I use Pacific Cross, right? A lot of guys use that. But who do you use?
I went with FTD, which is a Singapore company. And they
the florist?
Here. Yes.
Okay.
I think that's the FWD.
Forward. Got it.
Yeah,
okay,
forward. So
no, I know the logo you mean. Yeah, they're a big insurance carrier. Yeah.
I didn't go with Pacific Cross because I went down to one of the brokers here, one of the more popular ones, and sat down and actually signed up for Pacific Cross. And them rat bastards, this is no lie here, they were going to charge me like 25% more on top of my premiums because my BMI, according to them, was way up. I even looked at it. I said, okay, I'll give you my BMI's up. Now, there's no argument here. I'm fat. No problem.
Like cake. Come on.
But it's not as high as y'all are saying it is, and 25% more. Then they had me fill out my medical history. Okay, so I had a shoulder surgery 20-something years ago.
Yeah.
20-something years ago. And they weren't going to cover any shoulder-related issues for 3 years.
Wow.
And this went on and on and on. It's like I said, 2 years ago I had an endoscopy and I took some, medicine for GERD. And, now that I'm eating better food here in Thailand and not drinking, I don't have that problem anymore. But that was like 2 years ago. And stress now is down. So I don't have that problem. We're not going to cover any gastro or gastritis or any gastro-related illnesses for 3 years.
Really?
And I'm going, oh, the hell with you guys. What, so they went on this big, it's like, hey, back in 11th grade, I caught the flu. If you get the flu now, we're not going to cover it for 3 years. So I'm like,
that's disappointing, dude.
Yeah. I'm not going, and everybody that I've talked to, like you, said, man, we love Pacific Cross, this, that. And I'm going, well, I just had a bad experience, and it's like everything else. Go look for it for yourself. And this has always been my argument with everybody else. It's like no one has the magic wand here that's going to be a cover-all for everybody. when I dole out advice, when I sit here and run my mouth, just like you guys, I'm giving
What,
you the
us?
truth. I'm giving you the truth from my perspective.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, when y'all do y'all's,
well
and listen, and I'll y'all to have y'all's pro tips at the end of the show. What's your spot on? Because I usually look at all the other YouTubers and I'm going, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Dole.
Well, you know what's cool about today, Ryan, is that you get to contribute to the pro tips.
Totally,
we got about 15 more minutes before we kick that off anyway, so we're going to be asking you, so write it down.
Write it down. Great. I would have come. Don't eat yellow snow.
It doesn't snow there.
I mean, who doesn't like
Mountain
Mountain Dew?
Club you go into.
Come on.
Have you not seen some of the news articles lately at some of these raids? It's snowing there. Mike got it.
There you go. Of course I did. Absolutely. I love the Peruvians.
So, you know, what I tell everybody is do your own research, please. Don't just sit back and listen to some guy on YouTube, or don't let some 41-year-old tell you about a retirement visa, even though I'm going to do it.
Sure.
You know, at the same time, look around. I love it's you have these flavors of the month here on YouTube, and it seems like the flavor of the month this month is visas. Before it's always budget, and we'll circle back to budget, of course.
Yeah,
you know, we'll talk about budgets next week, but the flavor of the month is visas.
How
and
much
I
is
just
the cost?
The cost, and
Cost
then you
of
got the
live.
people. Why are you guys using agents? It's only 19, and it's like, guys,
Everybody has a different.
this is different. And one of my favorite expressions over here is, what is written and what is are two different things.
Agreed.
You know,
I get
and
that.
just because, and everything's different. It's like you can go to your little visa place out in the, you know, in the countryside, and everybody's, oh, I have a great experience, and the ladies are, and the gentlemen in this, you know, immigration office, they're so nice, and I get my visa, and we walk in, and we all have a laugh, and blah 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 blah. And then the next thing you know, it's like, well, have you been to the immigration down in Jomtien and sat in that line for 3 hours?
Right, exactly.
No, you haven't. No, you haven't. So
Right.
that's why
It does
guys
suck.
are paying X amount to get their visas,
Yeah.
because they don't want to sit in that line for hours on end for
Yeah,
3
I'm that
hours
guy.
to be told, oh, your paper's wrong, go out. Literally, a
redone.
guy sat in the line trying to just do a regular okay, back during COVID,
90 days.
1900 baht, extend his visa. Came
Right.
in on a regular tourist visa, wanted another 30 days, decided he liked it here, wanted to spend some more time. Goes down to immigration. First day, 2.5 hours in line. Gets up there, your paperwork's wrong, go. They're not going to tell you what's wrong with it. They're just going to tell you it's wrong.
It's wrong.
And they literally look to the next day. Like if they're looking at you, they say, oh, your paperwork's wrong. Can we help you? And it's like, oh, man, because everybody's like, oh, they're so nice, they're so helpful. Well, they're not rude. They just tell you it's wrong and go fix it.
Move on.
So he comes back the next day, thinks he's got it corrected. They tell him, nope, you're wrong. Maybe you should go see an agent.
Yeah, for sure.
And
And
so-
you're like, what?
So everybody's going, why is this guy going to go, you know, they're getting on their high horse. Why is this guy going to go see an agent? Well,
Right.
It's like, because he just wasted 5 hours of
Yeah.
his time standing in line to be told he's wrong. And for the person behind the counter saying, maybe you should go see an agent for help.
Maybe I should. And here's what's funny. So Gracie and I were in Samui during the whole COVID thing, and that was when like everyone every 60 days was doing the COVID extensions, is what they referred to them, right? So we go in, and I think we have the paperwork done or whatever, and there are, I don't know whether they were like high school students or college students or something like that. So we literally are like, what do we fill out? And these children, basically, these young adults, I guess, they filled out all the paperwork for us. And then they submitted it to like some officer there, and then she double checked to make sure everything was good. And then Gracie went up and handed the stuff to him, and then we waited there, and then we got it back, and then we left. So I can totally relate to that. And also, if you've ever done immigration stuff here up in Bangkok at Changwatana,
Yeah.
I mean that's like a whole friggin' city. I mean that's it's nuts over there. And I think honestly, for me, the majority of the time, the reason I do it and I go through it is I'm very interested in the experience. And a lot of people would be like, okay, so I'm not interested in wasting 3 hours, and I'm like, I don't know. I got 3 hours. No, totally. But I will tell you that I absolutely went through the process of getting all the paperwork and doing it and paying the money to get global entry in Trusted Traveler, because I will not wait in line. No shit, dude, right? To get back in the United States. When I get off that flight in Los Angeles, I will pay $100 that day just to get through one time. And the friggin' global, it's 5 years, right? I mean, so it all varies. And I think that that's really important, because I'm sure you get this now that you're living here. I know Robbie gets it too. Guys are like, hey, they message you, hey, I have a question for you. Can I, and then it extends, and then they're like, okay, set up an appointment in the calendar, talk to a guy for an hour. It gives you like, however much money they want to buy you a smoothie. And they ask me, they're like, what should I do? And I'm like, I'm at the point now where I'm like, you should come over here for a month.
Yes.
And just do shit. Because like, you guys love riding maybe you don't love it. You guys have motorbikes, right?
Yeah.
And I will no longer ride a motorbike in Jomtien or Pattaya. Just based on experience, right? So everyone's different. And that's what people ask me. They're like, well, what is all this, whatever? And I say the answer to everything is it depends. It absolutely depends. Whether you're wearing Depends or not, which I'm wearing one right now. I wanted to say, though, thank you, Robbie, for the reminder, is that we're on bkk.fm. We are on the spot.fm. And if you're watching us on YouTube, if you're watching on Walking in My Shoes on YouTube, or you're watching on Live My Ass Off on YouTube, and even if you're watching on Eat Out in Pattaya, stay over there. But please come over to the Spot Thailand on YouTube. We're so close to getting 1,000 subs, and we would really love for you guys to be part of that 1,000 subs. And we would also selfishly like to get 1,000 subs. So please check those out. But yeah, if you're listening on the air, don't forget that every Saturday, 8 a.m. Bangkok time, we're basically doing the show. It's called The Big Mattress. We're honored to have some guests on and that sort of thing. We've been on other people's shows, which is really neat. It's a decent collaboration. Next Saturday, I'll actually be down in Jomtien because I'm going down to Pratamnak for a conference. So I'll be down there for like 3 or 4 days. And so definitely we'll probably hang out with Brian a little bit. And I think that... trying to think, where did you? Oh yeah, right next to 1669 restaurant, right, Robbie? You recommended doing the show. It's like right to the right, like right there at 1669. Yeah, like right on the other, because on the left side is the big market for Big Market Jomtien, and then on the right hand side of it, right there, like where that thing looks like a giant, basically Coke bottle or something like that, a giant, glass of
pizza
milk.
Oven.
Pizza oven. Is that what that is? Is a pizza oven?
That's what it looks like.
Yeah, so definitely want to go out there. So that's kind of cool. When am I coming down to Pratamnak? Thursday at the latest, Mitch. So yeah, definitely message. Let's get in touch, dude. That'd be like totally cool. Also, we have to remind you guys that one of our sponsors for this show is Pattaya Motorbike Rentals. Real easy to find. Facebook.com, and then just search for Pattaya Motorbike Rentals. They're also gratefully a interesting advertiser that we're doing for on the Spot.fm. They sponsor the 80s at 8 and the 90s at 9, interestingly enough, is sponsored by Allpoint IPTV. They're super easy to find, allpointiptv.com, allpointiptv, one word.com. And here's the interesting thing about Allpoint IPTV is that they have this amazing deal, and it's cheap, and you get all the channels and everything, so you're like, okay, cool, that's great. But I had no idea, and I think, Ryan, you're the one who recommended this to me, is that you can, like, try it out for 24 hours.
Yep,
right?
totally free.
And whether you like it or not, it's like you just like try it again. So that was like really cool. So thank you for that suggestion.
And it's I deal with IPTV quite a bit, and I actually know a lot about it, more so than people here in this city do. Why? There's probably one person that knows a little bit more about it, and that'd be the guy in Tukam Mall where I would go and purchase a few boxes from. Everybody knows the guy up on the 3rd floor. If you've never had it before and you don't know much about it, sign up for a month. It's $9.95 with that company right there. You sign up for a month, you get everything, and it's you get all your premium channels, you get everything. So if you're here in Thailand or you're out anywhere, you basically have all your channels from back home because they have local channels as well. They've got all the movies. They've even got pay-per-view channels.
So wait. Because I forgot about that. Like when you say local channel, what do you mean? Like Los Angeles?
Yeah, like
Chicago,
your major networks. Like I actually will take a gander at this stuff, and I can watch my local news station, Channel 6 WDSU from back home
in New Orleans.
In New Orleans. So,
dude, that's awesome.
So during the Super Bowl, it was played on Fox. So a lot of your, you could go on to any Fox station and you could catch the commercials from back home, wherever it was. So it's just a little nostalgia. Now, I actually turned on the local news about a couple months ago, the 10 o'clock, nightly news in the morning time. I said, let me just take a look. I watched it for all of 5 minminutes and turned the channel.
I think
that was enough of that
Netflix.
Shit. Yeah,
Netflix is probably going to be a little bit better. Yeah, no, that's it. I see a bunch of guys chatting actually about motorbikes because I brought that up, and the reason, if you guys care, the reason that I don't ride a motorbike in Pattaya Jomtien is that my first trip was that I'm on a motorbike. I bought a motorbike. I had a helmet. A friend of mine, she had a helmet. And basically, I'm cruising along, and I was sitting there right behind a bot bus, basically coming from Jomtien down, basically down Pratamnak Hill, where it kind of takes the corner and goes down past Walking Street. And I'm sitting there, and we're at the traffic light. Nobody's moving. And then all of a sudden, 30 minutes later, I wake up, I'm in the hospital. And so it wasn't necessarily a motorbike fault, right? But it was an experience that it just shies me away.
It's funny. I started, everybody's kind of weirded out. Like, if you think of in America and kids going to high school, nobody rides. Like, here, it's a thing. Like, everybody rides a bike to school. In America, you either catch the bus or, drive a car. Now, I went to
get your driver's license, yeah.
Yeah, I went to a private high school, so there I am going to, kids are driving BMWs and Mercedes and everything else. And here I am in this old hoopty. But what I did, where my street cred came in, is I started riding a bike to school.
Motorbike.
That's what motorbike.
Yeah.
And I started then, and that's what I did as a police officer for so many years, is I was a bike cop.
Oh, okay. So
I've been on motorcycles. It's like we talked about before. You ride so much. Like, for me, I don't like these guys that, two wheels to move the wind or whatever, and two wheels to move the soul. They've got all these little fancy sayings because they like to ride. For me, riding is a deal to get me from point A to point B as a mode of transportation. That motorcycle is a tool. It's not a pleasure
Ryan,
grab.
Man. That guy knows how to drive a freaking a scooter. I followed that guy, and he's like, you could keep up. I have a big scooter. Man, that was a challenge.
That's what everybody ride that. That's what everybody says. They go, I don't want to get anything big, like, because I have a Forza. I have a Forza 300, and they're like, I like to weave in and out of traffic when it's stopped down in Pattaya. I said, so do I, and I do it
you're
quite
a pro,
well.
Though. I mean, come on, I've
got a wider bike, and I was taking Robbie someplace, and I looked back, and he's on that little, what were you on, a click or a
little
click? And I looked back, I'm like, I had to pull over. I'm like, where the hell's Robbie at? And
where did he go?
Because I'm going off-road. I'm going up. I won't drive on the sidewalks. I will say that most of the time. I won't be that asshole driving on the sidewalks, running people over. You see it all the time. Come on. It happens in Bangkok.
It happens in Bangkok all the time, but it's Thai guys usually. And honestly, I mean, at first it was like weird, right? 'Cause you're like, oh my God, I would never do that in the United States. And over here, I know this is going to sound goofy, but honestly, I just think it's one of those things that's part of the Thailand charm. It's something that is like over here, because here's what's nuts, right? One of the reasons we don't do stuff in the United States is you learn that phrase when you're a little kid. Oh my God, but if everybody did it, then, if your friend jumps off a bridge, would you fall? If everybody did it. But what's crazy is over here, like, you see people driving on the sidewalk. And I swear to God, in the last decade that I've been coming here, it's literally no more people than were doing it before. Additionally, the guys that ride down right next to the sidewalk the wrong way on the street, because they're like, look, dude, I'm only going one block. So it's like, I don't want to make a U-turn, And I get it. It's more efficient. I've totally done it as well. But nobody beeps and gets in your way and tries to knock you out of the, because not everybody does it. It's like there's this sort of acceptable degree of accountability. And it's the cool kids table. Yeah.
Well, yeah, Robbie can attest to this. When you leave out of Manarat, it's a one-way street, and to go back to Beach Road to head back to where we live, you'd have to go back up the second road, make the block around, come back where it's just one block down to Beach Road again, going against the one way. All of us do it all the time. One time I had someone stop and go, you're on a one, and it was another American, and I was like, thanks, buddy, I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're number one in my book.
I was like, thanks, man. sorry, or something. I don't
you.
even think I said sorry. I was like, oh, really? Oh, thanks. Appreciate it. And I wanted to go, hey, buddy, this is Thailand.
Yeah.
You got to stop thinking like you're in America. There's no road rage. Stop it. People are going to pull out in front of you. It's going to happen. You got to prepare for it.
Sure.
You have to, and that's why I tell everybody, the worst advice that I've heard people give to people coming over here riding a bike is, oh, just get in the left lane and go slow. And I'm going, Jesus Christ, no, you've got to ride with a little bit of aggression.
The left lane, yeah.
Or they tell them just get to the right or the left.
Yeah,
just go slow. Let everybody pass. And it's like, you're going to get the hell run over is what's going to happen. Or someone's going to pull out and T-bone you. You have to have a little bit of aggression. You have to drive aggressively at sometimes. Now, I'm not saying reckless. I'm saying,
I know what you mean.
Defensively
versus offensively, right? I mean, you need to. But
Step
what's
on
interesting,
the gas, man.
is that in Bangkok, I swear the people are. Actually, I'm going to say in general in Thailand. Obviously, there's some people that you can't, not 100%, but I think they're more courteous over here. And, the way people drive in California, usually the summary is that they're very selfish, but they're very fast. Mm-hmm. So, like on the freeway, you always go like 85 miles an hour. And if you're going like 70, it's like, dude, get the hell out of my way, or you honk or whatever. Mm-hmm. Move the people out of here. It's a fast thing. But our freeways are also older, and they're designed, or newer rather, and so they're designed, for fast traffic. Whereas downtown Boston, you're going through there and stuff. It's like the freeways are not designed for people to go 85 miles an hour. But over here, it's like, you see someone back out of their driveway, for example, on main traffic. And my experience is that they'll maybe they'll have their blinker on or whatever. Maybe they'll have their, flashers on. But they slowly ease out into traffic, right? And then eventually, all the traffic will just stop, and then the guy will back out. Nobody beeps. The guy just backs out and then he starts going. And I don't know. My experience over here is that they're a lot more courteous. It's the foreigners basically that I've had issue with, that have done exactly what. Hey, you're going the wrong way. And it's like, it's like, what are you, a traffic cop now all of a sudden? But I wanted to touch on one thing, and I also want to get to some more comments. There was someone that said, for us freshmen, what is a sub? And basically, all that means is someone who is subscribed to a YouTube channel. So that's all. Sorry.
And please do so. Please go to the spot,
indeed.
subscribe.
It doesn't cost anything. I promise. If you subscribe, you don't get spam emails. That doesn't. I think people, there's a lot of other countries, and this is talking to people like in the Philippines and in Thailand. If they see another YouTube channel, like I've watched my girlfriend do it. She's sitting there on YouTube, sees another Thai YouTuber, and they just go subscribe. Oh
yeah,
they quick
Philippines
with it.
too. Yeah.
The Philippines are great for it. They subscribe to everybody. It's like here, and we've got to go because you've looked at y'all's analytics. I know I have, and it's like, how many people have viewed your videos that aren't subscribed? I'm sitting there with at one time before my Facebook got shut down, I had over 1,000 friends on the Facebook. And I'm putting my YouTube channel out there going, hey, guys, and a lot of people, and I know because I can see how many are coming from YouTube, and I'm going, I can't even get my own friends and family to subscribe to my channel. Right. It's like, hit the red button for the love of God. It's like you want to get Chris Farley out there going, for the love of God.
You could probably do a good Chris Farley impression.
If I was a little more excited and did the Peruvian
if I could play
stuff,
if I could play Loverboy, is there any chance that I can get you to do that Chippendales thing? Because
that would be awesome. I would sub to your channel to see that.
Oh my God. I would start eating out Pattaya like a motherfucker. Holy crap. I see the pro tips is going up there. Are we going to go ahead?
I was going to say the deal is we're trying to get people to go to these restaurants, not make them sick before they go. So no.
Got it. Okay, so no barf bag ahead of. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. So pro tips, dude. Are we going to start with Ryan, Robbie? We're going to get him to give some pro tips.
I think we should have him do one, and then we'll just go around in circle, and then we'll see if people want to talk about it. And
excellent.
Of course, Mitch put this out there, so I need to put that up here. We need to get 1,000 subs, and we are very close. We are 8 away from the last time I looked. So there's the link, guys. Hit that sub button, subscribe, all that kind of cool stuff. So there you go. So I mean, Mike, what do you got?
No. Pro tips. I want to hear one from Ryan.
Oh, okay. Let's do it. Ryan, what do you got? Give me one.
Well, which one? One, I would say do your own research. I mean, I know that's going and what it relates to is insurance, visas, go down the line. Just because you hear it from some guy on YouTube doesn't mean it's going to fit you. Everything is different here. I could go into a place on a Monday and get told whatever and come into Robbie and Mike and say, hey guys, go down there tomorrow and do A, B, C, D. They go down tomorrow and it's totally A, B, F, G, Q, R, Z. That's fair. And they're coming back going, God damn it, Ryan. I'm like, well, my bad on that one. You know, it worked for me that day.
Exactly.
So take what everybody says on these podcasts and these vlogs and everything else with a grain of salt. Do your own research and just get over here. Just get over here. You replace money, but you can't replace time.
Yeah, no, I completely agree.
Here's one to piggyback on that. And this is what I did going there last couple of times is having that buddy. Don't be afraid to make friends with other expats, other YouTubers, whatever.
Lady boys.
In my case, the example is I went with Ryan. I mean, followed him. I shouldn't say I was on the back of his scooter. I certainly wasn't close, but following this guy to get my visa taken care of and a bank account. The thing is, I didn't know really what I was doing. I had an idea, but I didn't know. And he's like, this is easy. I mean, I think we were sitting having lunch one day. Isn't that what it was, Ryan? We were having lunch, and you're like, want to do it now? And I'm like,
or no, we were at, no, I took, who did it? Because I took Mark down to get his bank account, which I felt bad because he weren't during high season. He had to wait for 2.5 hours.
Oops.
Yeah. And that was just quick. But it was just, but you were still before the mad Russian rush.
Yeah, and you were like, hey, we want to do it now? And I'm
we're at Peaky Blinders because it was getting ready to rain.
In November.
I was like, it's just rain.
Yeah, I was kind of sprinkling out, and then I followed him along. But the pro tip would be, you know what? Don't be afraid to ask people for help. There's no shame in it. You're going to find out your own way of doing things. For me, I'm all about hiring the agent. The experience is great. I'm going to hand that over to Mike because he likes all that experience, and he's the guy that I would ask as a friend, hey, what's your experience about this? So get a buddy. Don't be afraid to ask. You can ask us for sure. You can ask Ryan. I don't think, Ryan, you don't charge anything for this. You didn't charge me. And I'm like, dude, I'll pay you. And you're like,
you said what? I didn't hear that part. I would have taken you.
I know.
See?
Wow.
It was.
I got to rewind that.
Wow.
I can send you that part of the video just if you'd like, Ryan.
I will pay you.
Double click on that.
Like, what are we talking
Mike,
like
so there you
short-time
go.
rates?
Short time rates, long time rates. There you go. That's for another video.
I love you long time. That, you know what's funny is before I ever came to Thailand, you know, you would joke around, right? You would hear like these little things that are said in movies, right? And in the US there would be like a movie, you know, like, I don't know, Breakfast Club or something like that, right? And there would be a guy that like, you know, is Asian, long duck dong, right? I just flashed on that, whatever. And we would all joke around about the way that they speak, you know, oh, I love you long time. And I never realized, I said, oh yeah, I guess that means, you know, and then I come over here and I hear about this short time, long time. I'm like, that's what that means. Oh my God, that means she's going to love me for a full 12 hours. This is amazing. That's a long-term relationship for me when I first got here.
Is that your pro tip?
That yeah, it is actually. If you're going to go with a pro, just use the tip. I completely agree with what you guys said about, you know, asking for help and doing other things and also having your own experience, because again, it is going to be different, and that's why, you know, people ask me a question. I say, look, the answer to everything is it depends. It will it be a long wait for me at the immigration? It depends. Where are you? Are you in Samui during high season, or are you in, you know, Chiang Mai during rainy season or something? Regardless. To that point, there are certain areas where it's really smart, in my experience, to seek out professional help, specifically legal. And the reason I say that is because I've had like 3 guys this week ask me, or present a scenario to me, which is like, oh, I found, you know, me and this buddy, not even buddy, me and this guy, we got into a business relationship, and he specifically did this one scenario. He took off, and he's down in Samui, and he won't come back, and he took all the money out of our bank account, you know, and all of this thing, and they're in a foreign country, and they're like, well, what do I do? You know, I'm like, well, you don't just walk down to the police station and, you know, say, hey, you know, woe was me, I made a bad decision. So legal professionals over here are really, in general, they seem few and far between.
Yeah.
But every now and then I ran into ones that I actually trust. And traditionally, a lot of times they will be labeled, I think, by many expats as expensive compared to California. They're free. But anyway, my point, my pro tip is that, you know, if you're looking for like legal assistance, or if you're looking for someone to give you an opinion on potential back surgery, don't find that on YouTube. Find professionals that like do this for a living, because if for no other reason than I would submit that it'll remove a hell of a lot of frustration.
Do you have one you can refer or recommend in Pattaya area, let's say?
An attorney in Pattaya, it depends, right? And here's why I say that is because it depends what you need them for. So I know an amazing defense attorney. Like if you get busted doing something friggin' stupid, and especially if it's going to involve something dumb legally, like in other words, you're like, well, you know, it was just cocaine I had left over from last month. So, I mean, there's an expiration date. Shouldn't it, you know, what's the statute of limitations on a quarter ounce of blow? And, you know, so if you're doing something really stupid like that,
I swear
here's the pro tip I'll give you. Don't sign anything ever. The Thai legal system, they cannot force you. They'd be like, oh, yeah, you know, you're a foreigner. You know, you got to sign this document. And it's all in Thai or whatever. No, do not sign it. Always get a legal professional. And for me, I've always had a guy for that, if you will. So when I was going down to Mexico, when I was like, you know, in California, I had a defense attorney and I had like a business attorney, basically, that could take care of taxes, CPA, you know, all that sort of thing. So I would really, you know, get as far as like asking for help and getting a buddy. If you're going to be over here long term, and especially if you're going to be doing something fucking stupid, get a support system to be able to get you out of stuff.
The support system for being stupid or for not being stupid?
I mean
let's get that clear here.
I consider myself to be, you know, make fairly decent decisions, and I certainly don't do anything illegal, that's for sure. But you know, I still have like a support system for no matter what happens. And so that's the thing. I mean, yeah, it can be people, but you can also put a support system in place. I mean, Ryan and I were talking about, you know, the global, the Trusted Traveler program with global entry. I mean, that's just one of those things to allow your life to be better, to go through. Both of you guys have like an agent person that you use for, you know, visas and bank accounts and that sort of thing, getting your driver's license. Totally. That's your support system. So, yeah, but I would really caution you before you take like legal or certainly, you know, if it's going to be a civil matter, that's one thing. But like if it's a criminal thing, make sure you have somebody to call. And I absolutely have a recommendation for that if you want to reach out to me.
And let's tell people that too. So if you're coming on holiday, we're not saying you need to have an attorney in your back pocket. I mean, that's
depends
what
you do.
Saying.
You told me a story of one of your friends that came over with the Peruvian diet package, and you know that's
you need an attorney in your back.
Yeah,
pocket.
dude,
Yeah.
Don't. That is.
If you're a knucklehead like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a knucklehead, don't even come. I mean, bottom line is.
I'm just going to keep quiet on that one.
Pattaya would have no clients.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say.
Pattaya, no clients. But really.
The guy within 24 hours got off the plane. I mean, all gas, no brakes.
Oh, dude.
Drunk, fight, this, that, the other. First night in the police station. Had a, you know, just was down $5,000 in like 36 hours because he had to pay, you know, this, that, the other, and some other stuff. And they wound up calling up, you know, they made some phone calls to a very prominent business owner that has a lot of bars on Soy 6. And he got his attorneys down there to go help him out. So,
and that's good to know somebody. I mean, that's part of Mike's tip,
and that's
knowing
I was like,
somebody.
You know, and I talked to some people. I said, you know, I've never dealt with attorneys over here. You know, and like to your credit, Mike, what you just said, you start putting stuff like that in your back of your mind. It's like, you know, what do you need in place? And I was like, okay, so if I get in anything criminal, that might be a good, you know, the Eson lawyer's office might be a good spot to start at, to call up and say, I need some help here. You know, I'm in the police station.
They're a good place to start. I mean, I will say that Robbie and Robbie and I are using them for like contracts and stuff, like sort of business things. But then I also have another guy who is, like, dude, if you get into trouble, like, you need to know this guy.
So what's the number if someone gets into trouble? Isn't there a number like the tourist police number or something?
1669.
1669, yeah, is pretty much Thailand wide. But there is the tourist police number. Do you guys remember? Do you know what that is? Like
1411?
Is that what it is?
I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on it.
I think it varies per community, actually. I think the tourist police in Pattaya are different.
From what I understand, they said if you're having like a heart attack or something like that, to call the tourist police because at least they'll be able to get you to the right people.
Yeah. 1669?
Yeah, I think so. 1155 is what Ian is saying.
Okay, is that what it is?
If that sounds correct.
That does sound right, actually. If for no other reason than it's the last 4 digits of their like phone,
That's a
like
great
0611.
Yeah,
1155.
Mariana's saying 1155, so we're getting a lot of people saying
Thank you, guys.
That's a great tip to write it down before you come over. Put it in your wallet. If you get into trouble, call that number.
Let's face it, though. If you're having a heart attack, most probably you're not going to be able to dial it, so you're going to have to know it for your buddy.
It's like Thai girlfriend. Tell them 1155.
1155. It's funny you mentioned don't sign contracts because I had a buddy of ours. He got into a motorcycle wreck here, and 110%, it was the other people's fault. And of course, it was some young Thais that pulled out in front of him. But it was their fault all the way. They admitted to it. He wakes up in the hospital, goes down to the police station, gets all bandaged up, had to do with his bike's all messed up, goes to the police station, talking to the police, and they said, all right, the other people are at fault. We did the police report. We fined them. We fined them whatever for doing, whatever infraction, traffic infraction. We gave them a fine. Here's the police report. Please sign here at the bottom of the police report. Yeah. You know where I'm going with this.
I do.
He signs it, goes to contact their insurance. Basically, what he signed on that police report was that, yes, they were at fault. They admitted to it. And the police said they were at fault. They admitted to at fault, but each party would pay their own restitution.
Yeah, right. And
everybody says, well, he could fight that and this, that. It's like, but he'd pay more to get an attorney and then tie it up in court to fight it than just to fix his bike. So,
and arguably, if you're from California, you probably know of no-fault insurance, right? Which basically means you're supposed to have it, which is not the case for everything. That's kind of like at-will employment. But how many people sue for wrongful termination, right? So
and Dave has got a good one here. I think for like 3,000 baht, you can get some forward and rear cameras. I personally have been lazy and haven't done it. Some of the guys I ride around with have it. Chris, Ditch and Corporate, because I actually got some footage from him to put, to try to make a video together. And he had some, because when he gave me the footage, I started, and it's like, it had audio and everything. I said, man, it even had audio. I said, and I think they were shooting in 1080p. They're a real good camera system. So he said he got it off Lazada for like 3,000 baht and then went down to a local shop and had them install it for another 1,000.
Yeah.
So,
and again, okay, so hold on, I've never heard of this. I've heard of it in cars, and you see it in the review mirror, like with the grab drivers and stuff.
Yes.
So, truly, like, you're going to do this. Like, the only reason it's like, just a little kind of lazy, blew it off. Like, you're going to do the front and rear like Dave's talking about?
Yeah, Dave's got him on his bike. It's very common around here. In fact, the guy that got in a wreck on the Forza that I was just telling you about that got railroaded, he went ahead and did the same exact thing that Dave's talking about. He's like, this shit ain't going to happen again. He says, lesson learned. I'm putting cameras and, don't sign on the dotted line.
Don't sign on the dotted line, yeah.
And that's what I told everybody, or I've made some, people that I'm close to here. I'm like, listen, I've got a Thai guy here that I refer to as Papa because when I met him, and it's my girlfriend's dad, and I said, what do I call him?
Nice.
And she's like, Papa, and I was like, oh, so I've got Papa. Papa's, older, and he comes from, he's educated, was in the military, this and that, so he's very prominent.
Nice.
If he walks into a place, he gets instant respect because of his stature in society.
Awesome.
I said, do me a favor. If I get in a wreck and we got to go deal with the police, call Papa. Get his ass down.
What's
tell him
his
get in the
phone
truck.
number?
Tell him to get in the truck. Uwan's been in a wreck. And you laugh because you know what they call me.
Yeah. So you know what's funny is as you were describing the scenario of the guy who got into a motorbike accident, ended up in the hospital, and then went to the police station and then all that. That is literally what happened to me. So I get in this motorbike accident, wake up in the hospital. They take care of me from the hospital. Now I'm with a Thai girl at the time, and from the hospital, once I could walk, then they took us over to the police station on Beach Road there in Pattaya, and they had my motorbike in the back of the pickup truck. One of theirs, and then for some reason, I had to go in and she's taking care of stuff, and so she's reading it. So I mean, I put some trust in her, which arguably could have been, a bad move, but everything worked out fine. And I signed something, and I don't even remember what it was, but apparently, because I don't know what happened. And so she just talked and described, and then we went over to it wasn't like a junkyard, but it was basically like a car yard, like a dirt road with a bunch of stuff. And then I think, I don't even remember, but I think I paid the cops or maybe the guy that drove the truck to put the thing on the back, kind of like you pay a tow truck driver. I think I paid him a couple of $100 or something like that. And then they rolled the bike back down. The mirror was broken or something. And then they, I don't even know. But that was the infamous lesson learned. And I mean, I got to, I don't know about you guys, but I don't learn a whole lot because I do everything right the first time. I sadly am one of these guys that somehow, I'm getting a little better at life now, but I definitely need to make mistakes to learn how to do it the next time. And
that was the last time you did a motorbike. Is that right? Is that last time you drove a motorbike?
Oh, no. I ride motorbikes like crazy everywhere except Bangkok and Pattaya.
Yeah.
Like Samui, Phuket, Chiang Mai, or not, we haven't been to Chiang Mai, but like Prachuap Khiri Khan and, Cha Am, we would get, all the time because it's it's chill down there. I don't worry about it. I can't rely on people overall. Obviously I can rely on Ryan and I could certainly rely on you to drive correctly. But I mean, in Jomtien and Pattaya, I mean, people are honking, and it's very non-Thai as far as I'm concerned, the experience.
Chris hit the nail on the head with Ditching Corporate. He said, God damn it, we got all these damn Falongs in town, and they're trying too hard. They're trying to drive like the locals, and you can always tell when they're on one, you can tell the rental bikes, but it made perfect sense to me because I just started laughing. It's like, you ever get that guy that's at the party that's laughing too hard at the jokes, or he's trying to fit in too much? He's trying too hard. That's these guys that are on holiday or on vacation right now on these rental scooters. They're trying too hard, and they're driving like morons. It's like there is kind of like some sort of controlled chaos here that we're
it is. It's organized chaos, totally.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like like in Vietnam. Vietnam's even worse though. They're bonkers there. But
they use that horn every 2 seconds.
It's the Philippines. Come on, Philippines the same way. Manila.
The Philippines
just goes
the Philippines
forever.
is annoying. Gracie hates this. Like, they'll be in traffic and that gets totally annoying.
Yeah.
Vietnam. What's interesting about it is the reason they do it is you're signaling to the other person, and the one that beeps first, you're the one who has the right of way.
You gotta go first.
That. It's audibly annoying, but it's like I understand the paradigm. Whereas in the Philippines, they just do it because they're all friggin' short and they want attention. No, I'm kidding. That's not. But I don't get the Philippines. Gracie's like, we're in traffic, nobody's moving, and you're honking the horn. Like, what the hell's your problem? It's just very bizarre.
So Ryan, have you driven a car around yet?
I haven't. I got my driver's license for a car, and I've had opportunities to drive. I didn't like driving back at home. It was like and listen, I drove, like I said, cars. Like driving was part of my job. And now I'm sitting here going, I don't want to drive. Like a road trip sounds like hell to me in a car or something, but I'll do it. I haven't driven a car in over a year and a half now. Wow. It's kind of weird. And,
I like it, actually. I mean, I liked road trips back home, and so does Robbie. And I remember the first time I rented a car in Thailand, and it was a little odd at first because it's like there's no shit over here.
I want to see how driving a standard would be with your left hand.
So I will tell you that That I am not good at, and I do not feel comfortable at it. Because at the end of the day, basically the steering wheel, so the wipers and the blinker are on the opposite side. But the accelerator, obviously, the accelerator is not your left foot. I mean, it's like, clutch, brake, accelerator. But the whole shifting with your left, I'm thinking to myself, I don't even think people that are left-handed. It's just so odd and a weird thing. I mean, I guess if you grew up in the UK, you guys are probably saying, "Yeah, silly white Yankee." Like, there's no way you know how to. But and then they get it. But yeah, a stick shift is weird over here in my experience.
Well, Zekeman says driving with your left hand feels like someone else is doing it.
A little bit, yeah. it was weird, and because the pattern. Anyway, I was not good at it, and I didn't like it. But you get an automatic, you get a rental car, which are probably almost all automatic. So what do you got going on there?
I said
rented a car. That went over your head on that one.
Yeah.
I guess, Zekeman, no offense, I know you're back in the States. Us people in Thailand don't have to use left or right hands anymore. We have ladies do that for us.
Yeah, we outsource.
Thank you, outsource. That's a nice professional word. That's why you come on the show. Dude. You get stuff like that. Outsource.
Professional.
That's true. That's true help right there. That's a true pro tip.
That's a pro tip. You want to talk about a pro tip? I mean, you get a pro to do that for you with just the tip. You're living the dream, dude. Right there. Absolutely.
That's it. Ryan, give us another one. What do you got?
So real quick. You mentioned it before. If you're a person that can manage your own finances and not go ape shit with a credit card, get a travel credit card like, Chase has them, this one, that, because you get those cool perks like the global entry. With my credit card, I went down and I purchased the global entry with my credit card, and they reimbursed me $100. So my global entry and TSA pre-check cost me a big whopping $15.
Yeah.
Who do you have?
I think I used that one with Capital One.
I was going to say Capital One. I remember was.
I know Capital One has it, and Chase Sapphire Preferred or whatever it is.
Sapphire is a good deal. Yeah.
Yeah. That used to be a lot better until they come out with their bigger one. But I can tell you that TSA pre-check has saved my ass, almost missing flights, and global entry has saved me from shitting my pants. So.
Yeah, global entry is really, it is such a delta. It's one thing where it's like, because TSA pre, I actually hate it now because all you got to do is give Southwest like another $45 and all of a sudden you're in TSA pre and you're there with your kids and your friggin' stroller and you've never been through friggin' check before. You don't know to take your sneakers off and you're slowing down everybody. Yeah, now there's that other one.
Yeah.
There's that other one in the U.S. and Yes.
Clear.
Now, I tried that when it first came out, and it was definitely not worth the extra money. It was a neat experience because they have like that glass door that they let you through, and then you go through. But yeah, but that's domestic travel. But as far as like international travel, my God, I think global entry is the best thing ever.
I can tell you that getting off of a plane after 14, 15, 16 hours and then having to sit in a 2.5 hour line at immigration is the pits where I literally, the last time I went through, I went to the little kiosk, and I can tell you it's 10 questions. No.
No, and you just press the one button that says yes to everything.
No. And then, you put your 4 fingerprints down, boom, look at the camera, take the picture, your little ticket prints out, you go to the guy, hand it to him. He asks you if you have anything to declare again. I always say herpes. He says we don't tax that. So they don't tax gonorrhea or herpes or anything when going back in.
Man, you are full service vaginally. Good job, guy. Way to commit.
Well, it's 72 venereal diseases. Man. Yeah.
When you coming back?
I don't think I've ever waited more than 60 seconds to go through. I honestly, because in fact, I think maybe there was one time there was one person in front of me. There's always an open kiosk, right? Mm-hmm. Crazy.
Yeah, for the most part.
Crazy. Yeah. No, it's amazing. It's totally worth it.
Yeah.
The here's the interesting thing too is that like Robbie and so how often do you go home? I guess this is your home now, I get that, but like how often do you go home to the U.S.?
I'm going back, scheduled coming up in May.
Okay.
Ish, and I'm going to spend a little time there.
Family.
Like Robbie, there's some business stuff that I need to attend to, and I'm actually going to, because of just the way things are this year. I'm going to forward. I'm going to ask for an extension on my taxes, even though I'm not going to pay shit. Still need to file an extension and go see my tax guy, stuff like that. Go see the finance brokers.
Go see the man.
Yeah, go see.
I've
do
done that
some
a couple
fishing.
times. It's
go see some friends.
It's real easy. I mean, basically, all you got to do is file, and they're like, "Okay, fine, just let us know by October," right? So yeah.
I told that to somebody.
Business. Unless you're a business like me, it's a little different for extensions.
Mm-hmm. Right, and when your business doesn't make any money, it's so stuff like that. Yeah, I told somebody that the other day. They were getting there because they were talking about using like not Edward Jones, but like one of these H&R Blocks online or doing their stuff online. They're like, I really want to go see my tax guy. I said, file an extension. And they went, that's not a bad idea. And I was like, there you go. So,
yeah. Right, exactly.
You qualify. You're out the country.
We are out of time, Mike. We're actually at the end of our show right now.
Indeed. Wow. Yeah. This has been totally, I mean, it goes by so fast, you guys. Thank you. Brian, thanks a lot, dude. I really appreciate you coming by.
Hey, and listen, when y'all move the time up a little bit to like now, I'll come on every week if you want it.
Yeah, well, I mean, 8 p.m. Sundays, dude. I mean, I'm just like, my pajamas are on, and I have the ones with the
Mike's
feet,
already
naturally.
Yeah.
I'm basically, I mean, 4:30. I wake up at 4:30. I'm very busy.
The advantage of this time, Ryan, is it's rush hour there in Bangkok, and it's rush hour here in California. See? It's Friday night.
Wow.
There you go.
That didn't make any sense at all.
No.
Very
all right,
cool.
Mike.
Hey, guys, do not forget, tune into the spot.fm. Go to bkk.fm. Please go to youtube.com/@the-spot-Thailand. Please subscribe. Thank you so much for coming by. I want to thank Mitch. You're now a new moderator. Thank you so much. All the other guys, Pounding Sand, Gotta Love Thailand, Dave, all of you guys, Mariano, the regulars, and then the new guys that came over from Ryan's channel. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. With that, it's Mike's from LiveMyAssOff.com saying, I hope you're living the dream, because if you are not living the dream, you are doing it wrong. Over
and I'm Robbie from Walking in My Shoes, Thailand. And where you go, live your best life, because if you're not living. Until next week, we're out of here.